Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Andrea and this is Journals for Breakfast. I'm so happy that you're here. Am I a little crooked? Let's straighten that up. I think that's good. Hi, it's been a minute, hasn't it? Okay, a couple things we can talk about. No wig. I suppose everyone who goes through a chemo hair loss journey at some point finds the moment where they realize it's time to step out without anything. I'm not there yet. I still have a hat and I even have a little scarf under this hat. I like the bow in the back. But as you can see, hair is coming back. And thank you guys for so many kind words to me during all of this. I was going to say all of that, but it's still kind of here. A lot of beautiful well wishes through the comments and through private messaging on Instagram, and I really appreciate all of it. I feel really good. I think that the hardest stuff is behind me, and so we'll just keep moving forward and keep on keeping on. What I want to focus on today is my 2025 journal goals, what I think is going to be kind of where I put my attention in journaling for 2025, and my 2025 planner, because I did change systems for 2025 from what I used this year. So that's what we're going to talk about today, if that's of appeal to you. We're going to talk about why February is my new year, not January. We're going to talk about the favorites from all of the cumulative years that are sticking around with me, some old things coming back, some new things coming in, plans for the future. At the end of this video, I'll do an affirmation that we can use as a journaling prompt moving forward. And I want to show you a new oracle deck called Gentle Reminders. So let's get started. Y'all, I don't know if you can tell, it is so hot here. What is the date? I don't even know. November 11, I don't know. What it is 87 degrees outside and the humidity is about 98%. I'm not making that number up. Your clothes feel wet on your body here right now. It is awful. So I can't do fall clothes. So I'm doing fall t-shirts. There's a book that falls into autumn leaves. Isn't that pretty? I got that through some Facebook ad. So I'm doing fall t-shirts because I can't even pretend like I'm gonna wear a sweater right now. And I'm even struggling. I took my knitting with me today when we went to go run some errands. I couldn't even bring it out of the bag. Like the idea of putting wool into my hands while we were out there, I couldn't do it. Let's get on with journals and whatnot. I am all about the hearts today. I'm feeling the love. This little pendant, my husband gave me this necklace in 1996. And these little, I don't know if you can see these, they're pearls inside a heart. I think that was a Valentine's Day, probably in the early 2000s, maybe around 2000. I'm feeling all the hearts today. My hot tea, yeah, I know, hot tea on a hot day, but it'll cool off. Look at the hearts on that mug. It's so cute. So we're gonna let that cool down a moment and let's talk about journaling. Okay, I wanna start with February, not January. As the new year. I have learned after 53 Januaries in my life, January is a mess. I always think that, like, I don't know, the clouds will part, new invigoration will hit. It's January 1st. It's a new year. Suddenly I'm going to be a runner and a weightlifter and also keep the cleanest house that I've ever kept in my life. I don't know, you know? Several years back, I tried a system in January where instead of setting resolutions, these are things I will add to my life, I started focusing on things I wanted to remove from my life. These can be big things. One year, it was alcohol, and that sort of snowballed into some really big changes about the way that I saw alcohol in my life and ultimately decided never to bring it back in. That was a big take something out of your life. But sometimes I just remind myself that I want to remove shame from my story, or something like that, right? And so just use it as a journaling prompt to go through. But rather than add to, I try to sort of take back. And I did a Instagram post about this a couple of years ago, and I will share that on my Instagram page again soon, like this afternoon. So Journals for Breakfast Instagram, I'll throw that post back up there again. And that's what it talks about, how I've kind of come to the realization that rather than a resolution being something I add, can I take some things away? But even within that, I discovered that really what I need to do in January is kind of recover. Now, as a career, I typically was very swamped September through December, with December culminating in just insanity. It's the food business, you know, private parties, cooking classes, for a long time catered events. It just went on and on. So I was exhausted in January. But even in the last couple of years, as I've really pulled my work life back and tried to get more reasonable schedules put together for December, I still find that January is a month that I need to not plan to hit the ground running on January 2nd. Really ease into January, ease into the concept of the new year, and give myself time to recalibrate after so much holiday, right? After so many changes in the house, and now we're putting all that stuff away. Just take those 4 weeks slowly and sort of use that time to set myself up for a new start in February. So February is where it's going to begin for me as quote unquote New Year's go. And let's take a look at the journal side of it first, and then we'll go into planners. So journals that are going to stick around. One, of course, is this Traveler's Passport pocket brain that I carry with me everywhere. I've done several videos about this, and I will link them in the description of this video so that you can just do a one-click to watch those if you're curious. This has in it a weekly layout. It has in it a monthly layout. It has in it dot grid pages for just to-dos and thoughts. And it even has a little gratitude journaling notebook in here for me. I also have artwork in here. I do a lot of collage and whatnot in this space. So it's even a little creative outlet, and it travels, it goes with me, it's everywhere. This will never leave my side. So this sticks around for 2025 journaling for sure. But one that I added this year that's for sure making it into my future as well was the one that I've shared with you guys before, this kind of big notebook brain dump that I was inspired by Sandy by the Lakeside on her vlog, which I watch on Patreon, although she does load a lot of stuff to YouTube at no charge as well. So feel free to take a look at that. But I also subscribe to her Patreon because I just love her content so much. But she has one of these big brain dump style sketch pads that she keeps with her at certain times a year to just do that. You know, a lot of creativity is coming in, or maybe checklists or to-do lists. The size of it's nice for when you're working on the couch at night, movies are going on, and you can just start sort of scribbling in ideas. I love this guy. And he's definitely handy for me for like big goals. And I'll give you a sneak peek at one. 2025 no buy. Let's do a video just on that. We'll talk about that. But I was doing some menu planning in here for myself too. And this was just stuff that was just too big. Kind of the dinner idea redo, grocery list. It's just too big for that little pocket brain. There's just too much kind of coming out. So yeah, I liked the space that's here. So this guy will stay with me also as just another brain dump sort of version of a journal. And then another guy who's absolutely never leaving my side ever again, just because the benefits have been crystal clear to me. It's just incredible the positive impact this has had on my life. And that is my happiness tracker. So the happiness tracker, again, I've done videos on this, and I'll link one in the description box of this video. This is just a notebook that I fill in with 1 through 30 or 1 through 31. And then I list all the things that I would like to see happen every single day of my life that could bring me happiness. And so these vary month to month. I also do some collage work in here and just enjoy the space. But for November, Kiss Echo, Echo is my puppy, a box breathing, coffee break, collage, tidy, journal, prayer, nature time, learn something, laugh out loud, give a compliment, knit, read. You get the idea. These are things that I can do in minutes every day. And by the end of the day, I can potentially fill in every one of these blocks depending on the day. Now, the one right here that's just blank, 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 blank is gardening. It's still too hot. I had this fantasy that I was going to get the raised bed set up and some seed sown, etc. in October and November. I'm sorry, it's still too hot. I can't do it. I cannot do it. So what I typically don't put in here are things that are super tasky though. Like I don't track water in here. I don't track exercise in here, but if that's what brings you happiness is seeing all of those marked off, put them in there. My stuff tends to be the things that are more about my focus on intentional living and finding moments for intention in every single day. It's what a box breathing moment is. Breathe in 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4, repeat 3 times. That's the entire exercise. I don't know if it takes an entire minute, but it recalibrates and it puts me in that intentional spot just for a moment. And so I try to get as many of those in every day as I can. And I will tell you, this little guy tracking happiness through all of these months has had such a great impact on my overall positive attitude. It's incredible. I mean, it's science, and I talk about that in the video that I do for this. It's been proven that this works, but I'm here to tell you, as a user of the plan, it's incredible. It really has such a positive impact. So that's favorites that are going to stick around: the giant brain dump, the happiness tracker, and my forever with me traveler's passport mini brain dump. Those never leave my side. They'll be with me. But let's look at some older guys that are returning. So one of them is actually a journal that in my very first episode on this channel, I show you kind of some varieties of journals, your diary style, prompted, small, large, etc. And that's just episode 1 on this channel if you'd like to catch up with that. And in that one, I showed you this really beautiful journal that was a gift from a friend. It's got this hunter green linen cover that is just gorgeous. And it is a prompted journal, which means that it tells me what I can focus on. So it's 2 pages, and then the date is left blank, so it's undated. So you can use this 4 times in a year or 7 times in a week. It's entirely up to you. And then it has a block for focus, gratitude, I will let go of, and I will celebrate. Then free thoughts, and then it has its own little tracker here. So if I were going to track like water, exercise, things that are a little bit to me more sort of tasky and demanding, I'd do a small version of that here. And yeah, and then I will honor my mind, body, and spirit by. So facial, some healing time, maybe an acupuncture session, whatever it might be for you. So there's a guided journal or a prompted journal. And I have used this some, but I'll show you. You'll see not a lot, considering how much is available to use and how much I've used. I haven't used it a ton, and I've had it for 2 years. But every once in a while, I am at a place where I'm just blank. Like I just can't find it. And that's when I'll jump in this and say, okay, what is your focus? What are you grateful for? You know, just let it guide me. I also do journaling right on the pages. I don't care that, journaling, collage work. Doesn't matter to me that those were prompts back there. This is what I decided to do with that page instead. And I love that. So the other day, I was having a super blank moment. This was November 5th, it looks like. I was just, I couldn't find my focus. And so what I did was I grabbed one of my tarot decks and I pulled a card for each of the blocks. So I pulled 4 cards. I pulled one for focus, one for gratitude, one for things I'll let go of, and one for things I'll celebrate. It was so much fun. You know, I don't do tarot readings in that sense. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you do. It's not my skill set. I like them to sort of be a spark plug to my imagination, and get my creative juices flowing, such as it is. The artwork on tarot cards is beautiful, and just looking at one sometimes can spark something. But in this case, I pulled a card for each of those and then let the card inspire based on what the focus of the card was. So the card, the Knight of Stones, its imagery was a horse, and its main points were activity, perseverance, benefiting, and profit. And so for my focus, I wrote a note to myself that said, stay steady in your goals. I've got some big changes I'm doing with my business, and I do want them to be profitable. And I do want others to benefit from them. And I do need to maintain my perseverance within those goals. So you get where I'm going? So this sort of interesting imagery brings about something that's actually anchored in a lot of reality, which is actually even my business focus. So I just carried on that way. Y'all, that was so fun to do. And it just flipped my mood. My creativity came back, and I just ended up in the greatest mood that day. So I'm going to carry on with this prompted journal, but for that specific purpose. I'm going to use this as a place to try pulling 4 tarot cards for each of those prompts. And I don't know that I'll do that daily, but I would like to at least make an attempt at doing it weekly. So on Sunday or Monday, make that the way that I start my day. I think that will really be a lot of fun. So this is kind of an older guy that's returning for 2025 in a new way. Okay. Now, new journals for 2025. What will I do in 2025 that's new? First, I'm going to take a sip of this tea. Oh, gosh, that's good. It's this is English breakfast tea. It's afternoon here, but I need a little kick in the afternoon, and I don't know if I want to go as strong as a big old coffee, but a little tea felt good. Okay. This is a fun one. 365 days of stitches. I have really been itching to get needlework into my crafting life in some way. So I went back and found, look at this beautiful sewing bag. I bought this at a festival that was one of the outcrop festivals from a Rhinebeck weekend a couple years ago. This is a vintage piece of kimono fabric that was reworked with these gorgeous wooden handles into this beautiful sewing bag. I sure wish I had her info, y'all, and I bet I did for a long time, and then in some purge got rid of it. If I come across it, I'll let you know. Anyway, I dug out some old projects. I actually completed one the other day, and also got inspired by some new ones. See, this is going to be the top of a pin cushion. So I finished the needlework on that the other day. I did a series of those as gifts for people a few years ago, and then never did one for myself. So I've got myself one going. I have been craving getting back into some needlework. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, who cares what it's about? I'm going to do it. So I found this little guy on Facebook, and this is a stitch journal. So the one on the cover is 365 images that have been stitched in over the course of the year. Each wedge is a month. So January, February, March, April, May, right? So there's 12 coming all the way around. And then you can put as many images into any month as you want. I suppose if you want to do 30 and 31, depending on the month, you can get there. I don't know if I've quite got that in me, but what I love about this book is that I'll put the website on the description. It's maltoon.com, and I'll put that on the description. But inside of this, look what they do is they show you some layouts to consider. 12, 12, 12, whoop, 4. So there's one that's just based on seasons. So I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. I'm thinking about doing an image a week, which would be 52, and I could do those seasonally and work them into little and then just put a little note up here that's like Jan through March or something, JAN-MAR, something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm going to think about it. If you have ideas, let me know. I thought this would be a really fun journaling project. I think because in part, so much of my journaling and planning life happens in the morning back here in this space. But then in the evenings, I'm out in the living room with my husband, and we're usually watching a show, and we're crazy baseball fans. So we were watching baseball all year long. You know, the baseball season's really long. And so I don't do a lot of paper journaling out there or crafting or anything after, you know, the morning session has finished out. And I thought this would be a fun thing to sort of keep me in the idea of a journaling mindset, but I could do this stitching while we're watching a game. It comes with, I'm going to say 1 million, but I don't know the actual answer, of these templates for you that you can trace, right, onto your embroidery fabric. And they are done by nature, animals, celebrations. So what's a celebration? Here's hearts for Valentine's Day, or lips, or a flower bouquet, or 3 hearts together. So Valentine's Day is a celebration. Birthday is a celebration. There's a whole page devoted to these celebrations. Halloween, right? So the whole page of images. So it comes with, it says features 1,000 motifs. All right, so maybe not 1 million, but 1,000, which is plenty for me. And then inside, they also showed you a couple of people's versions of them. So Stephanie Evans' version is featured here. Look at all her different things. Look at this one. This was Jessica McCloy. Look at all of her different motifs in there. I'll hold that there so you can just look at some of the motifs for a second. Is that amazing? And they're teeny tiny. Like, you're meant to trace these, as I understand it, you're meant to trace these directly onto the fabric. So like, see, my finger is covering up the leaves. It's teeny. They're just little bits, little bitties. But you know, like if you went to a cookout, I could see putting an ear of corn there, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Or if you went to a campfire, went camping, put a little log. There's just so many cute ones. And what these images mean to you, I think that's the fun of it too, is that whatever a hanging fern might mean to me, it might mean something else to you. It's so cute. I will keep you posted on that. My guess is I'm going to do 52 images in, maybe in 4 wedges, so seasonally. But I'll play with that a little bit over the Christmas holidays when I have more time to sort of look at it. But that's an interesting journal, and that's for 2025. I'm excited about that one. And then this next one, let me double check I haven't missed anything here. I do have a few notes for you so I don't miss anything. Okay, let's have another sip of tea and then look at this next one. Now, this next one that I'm about to talk about, I want to invite anyone who is inspired by this to join me on this one. And some of you may have already tried this version of journaling and maybe want to repeat it, or got into it and then faded back out and want to pick it back up again. How's that for a teaser while I drink tea? Okay, I'm so excited I have hair coming back. Okay. The Artist Way. Are y'all familiar with that? So many people are, and I was not. I actually had never heard about it. And as I've shared here, I started sometime this year trying to teach myself watercolor. And one of you asked me if I'll do a video just on that. I sure will. And that's what it's going to focus on. The supplies that I'm using, the books that I'm using, the YouTube channels that I've been using, and some images of what I've been painting and how it's going. I was going to see if I had some from today, but the Artist Way, let's talk about this for a minute. So the Artist Way, let's read the book. A fascinating and fun 12-week-long program of exercises and explorations to help you loosen up your artist self. 3 times in the last decade, I've committed to doing the Artist Way, and each time I've learned something important and surprising about myself and my work. Isn't that interesting? So let's see. In the beginning, There's a whole opening that goes on here that you read about the plan and what you're doing. And then it starts with week 1, recovering a sense of safety. And then you'll do a reading about that. And there's a companion piece, which is the morning pages journal. Now this is not, I thought this might be a sketchbook, which it certainly could be used as that. And mine will be, you know me, I'll be slapping stuff all over it. But the morning pages just accompany the readings that are in this and give you a place to write them out with some prompts. There is no wrong way to do morning pages. These daily morning meanderings are not meant to be art. I suppose to some degree, maybe not meant to be, especially for artists that are truly artists, certainly not meant to be art that they're attempting to sell or a student attempting to use for a class or something. But I don't know why you couldn't doodle and draw and collage into these two. Use it as you like. But these two are companion pieces, and there's a Facebook group devoted to this. It's a private group, but if you ask to join, you just click yes that you've purchased The Artist Way and are committed to trying this program. I know a lot of you have these on your bookshelves and have either tried, or like I said, or already completed, but maybe it was 5 years ago and you want to go through it again. If you'd like to join me in this, let's do this together. And why don't we make our start date not January 2nd, but how about February? And if you're just itching to get into it, get going, and then everybody will kind of catch up. But I can create a space on this channel in the community. If you look over to that, I actually do post stuff there. Nobody ever sees them, but I post photos. I did a redo of this room this weekend, and I posted some photos over there of, I didn't do a lot of befores. Maybe I didn't do any, but I posted some of the afters. You can see behind me, things have changed a bit. But we could create a community that is about The Artist Way, where I'll do posts of what I'm thinking about, and we can share some connection there. If you're interested in that at all, please join me. I would love to have you there if you have thoughts about this program and what you thought about it. So those are going to be my 2 new additions to the lineup in 2025. Stitching Daily and Artist Way Workbook, and see what that reveals. Who knows? And that's really it for journals at this point. So what we'll be moving into next are planners. And I am a planner girl, as y'all know, and there are plenty of videos up here that talk about planning and using planners. I have to be careful with planners. One thing I want to say about that, because I suffered from such bad workaholism and such bad burnout because of that, I have to be very tender with myself when I piece together a planner. If I get too deep in and fill it in with things that are expected of me, then I start to feel those tinges of burnout again. And maybe even it's just PTSD to those sensations. So I have to really be cautious and back that off a bit. So I enter the world of planning delicately. And the reason I share that is because, listen, if you are the hardcore planner, boom, 12 months out, this is every birthday, this is every celebration, this is every event, I get it. And if that serves you and brightens your soul, 100%, there's no condemnation of how anyone uses anything in this space. I promise you that. But if you are the person who has found that you get intimidated by planners and sometimes stare at the blank page and aren't quite sure what to put in, let's work through planners together this year, because I do enter them very tenderly, very slowly. So I will not be rushing you through any planner meltdowns. I promise you, we can just take them day by day, week by week, month by month. I want to share the planner that I'm moving out of, and then the planner that I'm moving into. And I moved into this one from having stepped away from the same planner system for, I think, 5 years, and made a change last year. I moved into Laurel Denise planners. And if you don't know this company, the first thing I'll do is give it a rating, and I'm going to give Laurel Denise planners an A+ rating. So why are you moving out of it? Well, we'll talk about that. First, let's talk about why I give it an A+. It is absolutely beautifully designed and intentionally designed by a woman who uses her planners. This is not a machine out of, you know, some country that's just a factory produced product. This was beautifully thought out and designed very intentionally. The other thing about this planner is that the support that comes with it is so valuable. They have a fantastic Instagram and Facebook presence, and they have a fantastic YouTube channel. If you want to drink the Kool-Aid on this planner, and I'm a drink the Kool-Aid on whatever planner I get into, I go in, you will have so much fun here. They are a delight. It is a woman-owned company. They are LGBT supportive. There's a lot of green checks in the box for positivity and delight within this company. So A+, they get an A+ from me for this planner. Let's look at some of my pages in here so you can see. I went to town, kids. I used the heck out of this thing. It took me a month or two to figure out my system. And then when I got there, I was there, and I really, really loved what I was doing. The thing about a Laurel Denise planner is that she gives you the month layout here with these little weekly pages that flip week by week by week. And so you can always see your full month while you're looking at your week. And then there's room for a little extra notes. And then there's this giant back page where you can put stickies on that you move from month to month, or you can write in hard for things that actually have to happen that month specifically. It is a very well thought out system. And if you're intimidated by it or unsure of it, you'll just watch the YouTube channel, and they will show you every time they open it up, and they're like, here's Maddie's layout, and then here's Laurel's layout, and then here's Nancy's layout. They show you all the different ways to use that space, reconfigure it, etc. It's really cool. The downside of this planner for me is going to be the size, and I never intended it to be a travel one. That's not what's wrong. But what I had to get really clear with myself about is in the months that this faded out of favor for me, I found myself just not going for it repeatedly. If I got really quiet with myself about what was holding me back, it was space. This table that I'm working on can close in on me when I have a lot of projects going on. I have a computer here, I have an iPad here, I have knitting over here, I have a sewing mat over here. It's a lot because, you know, it's just who I am. But the size of this thing, ultimately, I would find that the times that I was not interested in pulling it out, it was because it was too clunky. They do a smaller version that is basically 1/2 of this size. What's my downside with that? It's too small for me. I am a big writer. I have big writing. It goes everywhere. And the smaller one is just too small. And also, I didn't really need it to travel. That's really not what I wanted to do with it. If you have the space for this, if you have the desk or the location, and you are a spread it out and look at everything at once kind of person with your life, I think you're going to love it. And so I just can't more highly recommend them. I'm pausing because of the space issue. They do another planner that's called a project planner. Let me show you those pages. They have them in 2 sizes, this gigundo size that you see here. This is what the project pages look like. See, they're blank with just big columns to fill in. Let me show you what I did with those in the back here. So I titled them differently and then added in bits of information. I bought extra of these project pages and I love them. I use them for a lot of other things. They do a mini project planner notebook that I do have and I do like. I just have not filled it in entirely. I didn't do, a year's worth of projects in it. So there's plenty of time to just keep filling it through. I gave one to my sous chef, Greg, and he loves it. So I will continue to refill his as well. So I'm still a customer of theirs. I'm still even using some of their products. They do a project planner mini. Did I say that? It's half this size. As they do the planner mini, they do a project planner mini. That's what Greg and I have, but they do a project planner full size. And I could see there being a time in my life where I just go for it and go for the project planner full size as well, because it is a cool setup, those pages. And my mind loves that sort of place to just create your own titles and write it down and make it happen. So A+ on Laurel Denise. What have I moved into instead? Tea time. Okay, what I've moved into instead is a Hobanichi. The one that I got is the Hobanichi Teco 2025 cousin Avec. And the reason that you know that it's an Avec is because it is split. So you have January through June and July through December. And I did that because I am a big clunky planner user. I put in all kinds of stickers and I'll do collage on pages and things like that. So it's going to grow. So I felt the best move would be to split it out 6 months, 6 months. And so the cover for it is not exciting, right? It's just a basic paper cover. But then Hobanichi, as I understand it, I'm new to the Hobanichi phenomena, but I've watched all of the podcasters for years raving about their Hobanichis. And so I'm pretty familiar with sort of what they've set up, and really shopping for your cover is a big part of the fun with the Hobanichi system. And so this is the one that I went for. How pretty. It looked a little bit like collage to me, is in part why I went for it. This is a cream colored linen. I might regret that. I'm a messy girl, but I guess cream colored linen with some coffee stains and some tea stains on it might be pretty in the end anyway. I did with this Hobanichi what I did with the Laurel Denise, which is drink the Kool-Aid. Once I committed to purchasing this, I signed up for their newsletter through their website, and I read the newsletter when it comes in, and I scroll through and I watch the videos that they link in that show different ways to use this. And if you go to their website, there is a drop down for each version of this planner that breaks down what is in it, how the pages are set up, what is monthly, what is weekly, what is daily, what the extras are on any of those pages, what the extras are in the back in the way of holidays listed, things like that. And so I read through all of that and went through myself and just got myself familiar with this new territory, right? And I discovered something while I was getting myself into this new territory, which is, guess what I did? Can you see that? I don't think I ordered the English version because all of my extras in here are in Japanese, including the back pages that are supposed to have things like getting the most out of your planner resources, conversion tables, if you have a Hobanichi, will you let me know if your English version, if all of this is in English? I bet it is. But you know, I was out walking the day after it arrived, and I had gone through the tour, such as it is on the website, and really gotten myself kind of familiar with it. And I was like, you know, I kind of don't hate that I have the Japanese version. It feels kind of OG, you know, like the original. I don't think that there's much written in there that's going to be super valuable to me anyway. All the dates and all of that stuff are all in English, so it's okay. No panics, all good. I'm really excited about this. I'm not doing a set up my Hobanichi video today because, for one thing, I haven't set it up, and two, all the big podcasters are doing them right now on YouTube, and I'm new to this system, so I don't really know that you need my unpracticed version of that when you've got pros out there going for it. But I'm really excited, and I will share it with you on this channel as I work through it. But I'm excited to have that planner. I really do like the size of it, and I actually am glad that I can carry this with me. My schedule is changing a lot. My lifestyle is changing a lot, and keeping this planner with me this year is going to be really handy. The way that my schedule was working prior to this year wasn't super relevant, but this year I think it's going to make a difference, and I'm looking forward to that. So that is the Hobanichi, and I want to do a couple of mentions, honorable mentions. I don't know what we'd call them. Some notebooks that I tried last year, some systems that I thought I'd share with you, because if you are thinking about a journal system for this year and your journaling style is that you buy a notebook that you like and go to town, which I adore that version of journaling as well, I'll share my thoughts on a couple of brands. This brand is Good Ink Impressions. Good Ink Impressions. And I got all 3 of these at Barnes & Noble, just FYI for where they came from, but all of them are available through their own websites, or if you know a small stationery store, they may stock them as well. This one, the selling point on this one is that the cover is not attached to the binding, which allows you to flop this out flat no matter where you are in it. It will sit flat for you while you're journaling away, which is fantastic. It is very lightweight. The pages are a grid. See the little hidden lines though? So I showed you guys that I actually turned this into my own homemade planner at a point. And I used those little homemade lines to help me divide out days sometimes. Doesn't look like I did there, but eventually I do get there. So handy. And, right? I just used this to create my own sort of 3-day-a-week planner that worked for me for a while because I just wasn't using my Laurel Denise, and I didn't have a new planner for the rest of the year. And so yeah, that's how I used it, and that's fine. But it's dot grid paper with those kind of hidden longer lines in it. So if you're a bullet journal creator, these work really beautifully for that as well. I give that one an A. It is a lightweight, beautiful. I love the paper. All my pens did well on it. Really liked it. All right, let's go to something that I'm giving a C-. And that is the Karst Stone Paper Notebook. I didn't give it an F. I didn't give it a D. It's a cool little notebook in its own way. Maybe you can tell me a bit about it if you're using it. Here's what I found with this notebook, is that ink performs strangely in this thing. So this was a Pilot pen. As I was writing, it was smudging out from underneath me. Because the paper is stone, ink sort of sits on top of it for a while before it dries. Let me show you another entry I did. Can you read that? I can't either. So that was a fountain pen in purple that disappeared. The stone just sucked it right up. So that entry disappeared. That's gone. Okay. You cannot use pencil on it. I couldn't. It drags so badly that it was going to give me carpal tunnel. I mean, it was so painful. What ultimately did work in it, and you can see I got a lot of writing in here, was a gel pen. I'm pretty sure that's what I used. And I tried some watercolor in here and I didn't hate it, which is kind of interesting in its own right. I mean, I may not love the painting that I did, but I like the way that the paint settled on the paper. That's kind of cool. It sort of took the paint in an interesting way. So I might continue to play with that and use this as a little watercolor notebook. This is another one of those pockets, you know, that I put on stuff and then just slide stuff into, so I can change the cover art on my notebooks whenever I want to. It's heavy. This weighs probably an ounce. This probably weighs 7. And if I were a commuter, this would be tricky to carry with me every single place that I went. It's going to add weight to your bag. There's no doubt about it. I think my mini umbrella weighs less than this notebook. So there's that factor too. So they're interesting. If you're using one, let me know what you think about it. I'm curious. And then this one, I'm going to give an A for the brand. Rollbon. I put that sticker on there. That doesn't come with it. It's just this. And what I love about this is the paper. Oh, it's a grid. It has this slightly yellow, pretty yellow, not slightly yellow, or something white. It has a very yellow hue to it, but it feels delightful. Oh, I love writing on this paper. It feels so good. I'm definitely going to grab another one of these. P.S. Those project pages from Laurel Denise that I was telling you about, often I just pull one out and just do, this was a flow chart I did of symptoms from chemo to take with me when I was speaking to doctors. So they understood what happened and how long it lasted and things like that. And anyway, back to this notebook. I just love the paper in this. So I highly recommend this one. I will definitely look for this brand again And he also came with these cool clear pockets in the back, which I love because I would definitely put some collage stuff in there. He came with this plain page, and I was able to put my cancer center doctor's info there. I was going to use this as like a quote unquote cancer journal. And it turns out, y'all, that I didn't want to journal about cancer. I mean, what was I going to say? Today is also this is gross. I hate this still. I still hate it. And I'm also still bald. And also, like, how much did I have to say about it? I don't know. I couldn't find the creativity to journal about cancer. So I ended up using it as a cancer notes journal, questions for my doctors, things that would pop into my brain that I should have asked while I was there and forgot, and then I could ask next time. So I started using it for that. And I think, unfortunately, because I used it for something that was so meh, I now have this kind of bad association with this particular one. Because I was thinking about just ripping the pages out that have all the doctor's questions on it and just using it for the paper. But every time I look at it, all I can see is cancer, cancer centers. So he may just go into my medical file. I think that's what I'll do with it. I'll put it in the medical file, and then I'll find a version of that that's a different cover, and we'll just move on. But I love the paper in it. So if you are just looking for a journal that's not prompted, that's not a large size, that you love the paper quality, I give you 2 thumbs up on that one. I really like it. So that's my review of those. Okay. We're getting long, 45 minutes in. I had a feeling this would be kind of a long one. I want to do a couple things for you guys. An affirmation that I posted on my Instagram page a while back, and I see this one every once in a while, and it just speaks to me. So if I've used it here before, apologies, but here we go again, because I just think it's so valuable. And the affirmation is, make way for the unprecedented and watch your reality rearrange itself. Make way for the unprecedented and watch your reality rearrange itself. At the deepest part of my burnout, one of the things that came to light as I started to heal myself through that and have moved away from that is how precedented I believed so much of what I was doing needed to be. Everything had to be by the book, by the rules. There was no flexibility in outcomes, in demands, in what I believed customers demanded of me. Everything was precedented. I had set a system that I was buying into, and I just had no flexibility or give in it. And one of the things about burnout for me is that it really comes on heavy when I feel stuck. And that feeling always anchored me into feeling stuck. And so the freedom of the concept of making way for the unprecedented, the things we do not have guaranteed outcomes for, the things we dare to dream about or dare to try or dare to throw into our business plan, that has this freedom to me that is the absolute opposite of what burnout and precedented was. But if we make way for the unprecedented, we will watch our reality rearrange itself. The freedom in that statement for me. I have loved this one. I've looked back at this particular one many times. I'll put this in the description with the giving credit to whom it came from as well. Make way for the unprecedented and watch your reality rearrange itself. Make a change. Try something you haven't tried before. Be brave. Be bold. Your reality will rearrange itself. And in my experience, when I do that, the rearrangement is always delightful. It might be a little scary to lose your footing, but you trip into a part of the forest that you didn't even know was there, and it turns out it's glorious, right? And so that one just really speaks to me. So we're gonna make that our affirmation for this video. Make way for the unprecedented and watch your reality rearrange itself. I love that. And then a gentle reminder, and these are cards. This deck is by Barry Lee, and I got a few of these to go into my actual brick and mortar store that's here in Florida. but he's available online as well. And gentle reminders, a daily oracle deck to help you stay grounded, be present, and love deeper. 40 cards by Barry Lee. And it says on the side, try to be gentle with yourself. I love that message, and I think all of us could stand to remember that message more often than we do. How about that in your happiness tracker? A moment of being gentle with myself. Can you put that in there too? You know, we are such critics of ourselves, aren't we? And the demands that we create from within our own hearts and minds that no one else would ever put on us. So be gentle with yourself. And so they're beautiful cards. I love his artwork. It's just really fun. What a pretty way to start your day. That beautiful bright color. That's gorgeous. Okay. Don't underestimate the grace your body may need. I try to share this with a lot of people in my life, that stress is exhausting mentally, and we know that. So then we tell ourselves that we need to find a time to take a bubble bath. But stress, actually, physiologically, our bodies begin to produce things in states of stress that we don't have any choice over. It's going to produce them, and they're flowing through us. One of them is adrenaline. And if we have been in a situation that has created an adrenal flush, we cannot underestimate the grace that our bodies are going to need after that adrenal flush. Almost in a car accident, got very angry about something, a panic attack. There are a lot of things that can create an adrenal flush, and adrenaline is so pervasive when it hits your bloodstream. And when it fades out, you hang over from it. It creates a withdrawal because it throws so much energy here that as your body recalibrates, it goes to the very lowest point to start to build itself back up to a level point. And so you have this massive crash after an adrenal flush. Typically for me, I feel jet lagged. Do you know the sensation of jet lag, where it's just like the day feels longer than it should have ever been. You're not quite sure which end is up. And you have to give yourself time to heal from that, because a physiological flush of chemical. I've told friends it's no different than if somebody jabbed your arm with some sort of liquid drug or liquid chemical. Your body is going to have to process that, withdraw from that, and then balance itself back out. And so stress in even tiny little doses, little forms, slamming on your brakes all of a sudden in traffic, physiologically, you have no control over what your body produces in that moment. So don't underestimate the grace your body may need. And I have certainly learned through this cancer journey to give my body the grace that it needs to heal in the time that it is going to heal. There's nothing I can do to speed that up, barring give it enough rest and try to keep a positive attitude going through it. So that's our gentle reminder. I hope you enjoyed your affirmation and gentle reminder. I am so curious to know what your journal and planner lineups are going to look like, so feel free to share. And I'm going to do another short little video where I'll show you guys a few of the changes around here. And so she says, we'll see. I probably will. That was a long one. It's really nice to see you guys. I've missed everybody, and I'm glad to be back. And let's see what comes up next. I'll definitely get some watercolor information out for you too, for you guys to show you the tools that I'm using, because I'm having a lot of fun with that. All right. I hope everybody is well. Be gentle with yourself. Remember that you need time to heal every day, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.